Comix Watch. Comix Watch. Comix Watch.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of the Comix Watch, where we talk about all your news and watch while doing it. Okay, that needs work. But joining me, as always, is the Lord of Comics, who has descended from his throne in order to lecture me on all the perils of Wonderbat. We have Jared from Comics League. How you doing, buddy?
I was doing fine until I saw what James Gunn said.
All right. I guess we're just gonna jump in the headlines here. So, but first off, let me ask you, sir, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. Just been hanging out, reading comics, and just trying not to go crazy.
Trying not to go crazy. Aren't we all, sir? Aren't we all? What kind of comics you been reading?
I've been reading a lot of. I actually read some more of the Alan Moore Swamp Thing. Because I've been really trying to get into this because everyone tells me this is fantastic, which I am enjoying it. Don't get me wrong; it's very good. It's very well drawn. It's very good. Golden Age action comics, obviously, and some more Chris Claremont and Marvel DC.
Nice. Yeah. So let's just jump into the headlines, shall we?
All right.
Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
All right, so next in the show is Headline Hysteria. We're talking about all the things that are important, just not important enough for a full episode. We got two things for you, a big update on Screecher, and then a huge rant. Let's just do the Screecher thing
Yeah,
first.
let's get it over with.
Yeah, so I'm happy to announce that the Kickstarter money has hit my account, which means I will be going to print either today or tomorrow. The files are ready. I'm just gonna double check to make everything sure, and then make sure the print order is fine. Then submit it. So probably be tonight, but tomorrow at the latest. Which means Screecher 3 is not that far from you guys. So the print usually takes about 2 weeks to a month or so. So we're looking to ship the first wave probably in January. That's probably when the first wave is going to get shipped in, and then we'll kind of go from there. So yeah. And Jared, you have been one of the few people to have read Screecher 3.
It's pretty
Give us
good.
a little quick review of it.
It's pretty good. The art's good. It's a lot of Batman homages, which I appreciate as a Bat fan myself, and it's really good. You guys really ought to check it out.
All right, so let's go into the big one. James Gunn can go fricka-noodle.
Okay.
So, should we just play the clip?
Well, no. May I provide context?
Yeah.
So James Gunn is training the DCU, right? And one of the things that he said, he implied, well, actually, no, he did say that season 1 of Peacemaker is not canon because they reference stuff that I'm like, you kind of have to not be canon, like the Justice League showing up at the end. So then today he said, oh yeah, season 1 of Peacemaker is canon up until the point except for the Justice League cameo. And I'm like, again, you are just confusing the audience. And then I noticed a clip that I sent to Nick before we started this, where he's basically saying canon doesn't matter.
So okay, this is what we've always been saying. Canon is like an obstacle for a lot of these creatives, okay?
Creatives.
Yes, mind the exclamation points. And the thing that I've always said, if canon doesn't matter, then nothing matters. And if nothing matters, then why are we even doing this? But one of the plus sides is, hey Tevye, how you doing, buddy?
Up, Tevye? Well, Nick, here's the other thing. Here's why canon kind of has to matter to James Gunn. He's making a cinematic universe.
We're dragging James Gunn, Tevye. That's what we're
talking about. Canon doesn't matter.
Well, on the plus side, if canon doesn't matter, you know what's canon again?
Oh yeah, he actually said in that clip that we can decide what our canon is. Okay, so none of his crap is canon, and everything directed by Zack Snyder or Christopher Nolan is canon. Or Reeves. I'll let Reeves have his own thing. That's
the Burton versus canon.
Well, the way I figure it, my multiverse is Keaton, Pattinson, Snyder, Nolan. Those are my multiverse. And then James Gunn is in Earth BS. That's about to be that's the first Earth to be destroyed by Crisis.
Also, you know what's more canon than James Gunn?
What?
The Pantheon.
Yeah, but and also Zack Snyder's Justice League. Yeah, to everybody's a good point. If canon doesn't matter, I guess Peacemaker doesn't matter. It never did, but okay. But here's the thing, and this was a thing one of my guests brought up, that when you look at James Gunn when he was promoting Suicide Squad, one of the things he was asked was, is this canon to the previous film? Because again, this is the second Suicide Squad movie. And he goes, well, it is, but it isn't. And I'm like, you have to make a choice on that.
Yeah, like he was going like back and forth on Peacemaker for like so long. Like, Peacemaker isn't canon. Oh, season 2 is going to be canon. Oh, bits and pieces of season 2 are going to be canon. Like, oh, episode 6 is. I think even at one point,
and then he goes, "I'll explain it," and I'm like, dude, here's what you're doing. Are you ready? You're creating too much of a problem. Because here's the problem. Anyone that one of the few people that watched Peacemaker and is watching your universe is gonna go. A general audience member that doesn't necessarily follow that. Wait a second, why is Corn Sweat in this when Cavill was the Superman? Or where's Momoa and Ezra?
Oh, you don't even know the big problem is Peacemaker references all the Justice League all throughout the show. So according to James Gunn, it's going to be, because the thing is, people are going to ask him, okay, so when does season 1 of Peacemaker take place in your universe? You know, they're going to ask him that question because he references Batman.
And then wait. And then the Suicide Squad references stuff from the DCEU. Nick, this is literally the worst of the New 52 reboot.
Well, I guess Suicide Squad isn't canon.
Yeah, but dude, this is literally, because remember, the thing that Nick and I have said is that even though the New 52 saved DC and all that stuff, the problem with the New 52 is they were very much like, okay, everything but Batman and Green Lantern are getting rebooted. Or in Rebirth,
even Batman got rebooted slightly.
I think this is more like Rebirth because they're trying to take stuff from the DCEU and then merge it with his universe. And as we saw from Rebirth, that didn't turn out so well.
Yeah. So this is a problem with like just doing such broad strokes. We got some Black Reaper Kai action going on. But yeah, this is a problem with like, doing such broad strokes, because here's the thing about fans. They're dedicated, and they will point out, like, okay, so if Peacemaker is season 1 is canon, why is he referencing Batman before Batman even appears in the universe?
Well, because remember, he explained that because this is taking place in a universe where the characters already exist. That doesn't. So there were some spoilers that Nick and I know about. That Nick and I got leaked about Creature Commandos. We're not going to say it on here because, again, I don't believe in spoiling stuff before it comes out. But when it happens in the show, you better believe Nick and I are going to be ranting about this because it's utter BS-ery.
Oh.
You know what I'm referring to, Nick. It's what I told you in the private chat last night.
Oh, yeah. So Black River Kai loves Rebirth.
Well, you're allowed to be wrong with a initiative that crippled DC.
Just be careful. Black Reaper Kai is lurking.
You know, it's kind of funny. So many people were like, okay, so we went from the Justice League about to face Darkseid to this. And I'm like, what a downgrade.
Mm-hmm.
They literally
be
downgraded
fine.
actors too.
Which would be fine if it was like a full universe reset.
It's clearly not.
Yeah, see, this is like I was fine with like a wipe the slate clean, start over, and then build from there. Like
if it was fair,
case,
yeah, but it's not fair. It's literally, and it should have been complete reboot. Nothing comes back, and you can't cast it. Well, I know this is too much to ask, but you can't. Let me let's say you can't cast your wife and your brother. How's that? Oh, and if you're gonna replace Henry Cavill as Superman, don't cast someone that literally is a Cavill impersonator.
Yeah. My Wally came back.
Oh, I agree. That was one of the good decisions, but the other decisions crippled the company. So, and this is an objective fact according to Dan DiDio.
Well, to be fair, she would really be taking the opinion of the guy who thought 5G was a good idea.
When it comes to actually sales for the company, yeah, I kind of do.
All right. I do have to say, I have met Dan DiDio at a convention once, and he was a really nice guy, so I'm going to give the guy some credit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I asked him the Stephanie Brown question, and he had a good laugh about it.
Yeah, but so Nick, they've heard me rant about this, so how about let's hear your rant about canon not mattering to James Gunn.
It's going to be really hard not to curse, because, like, oh my god. This is just complete hogwash. It's just like it's like the continuing like death by 1,000 cuts we're having, and just clearly continuity matters to him, his continuity. But just we've seen this with like a lot of creative people, where like they like canon is just like an obstacle. Like I don't want some nerd on the internet pointing out that like an issue 50 years ago contradicts the stuff. Like that's how they think.
Well, remember, Nick, remember when we did that that for Frenzy episode where it was all about that one tweet where someone said canon is anti-art?
Oh, God. Yeah.
That's what this is. That's what this is. And the sad part is, again, Nick, do you see now why I was so pissed off with people saying, oh, my gosh, James Gunn is going to be more respectful to the source material? And I'm like, really? No, he's respectful to his source material.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna say I'm starting to feel kind of just I'm done with this whole James Gunn discourse. Part of me is like I don't want to talk about it. If the trailer comes out and blows me away, cool. I'll hop back on the Gunn train. But until that miracle happens, I am just so burnt out because I'm tired of the back and forth. I'm tired of the ping pong. Like this is canon. This is canon. This is gonna happen. Like it's like a light switch every day. James Gunn's going like this.
Yeah, that's the way James Gunn works.
Well, here's the thing. It does mean something. It is canon to his universe up until the final 30 seconds.
Well, here's the thing. Peacemaker doesn't matter, period, because barely anyone watched Peacemaker.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, as much as Gunn makes a big point about Peacemaker, it's really not going to be that big of a factor in his universe.
Exactly.
So let's move on to something positive. Let's talk about a hero we love. So Jared, tell me, why do you love Spider-Man?
Well, he was the first.
Wait. Real quick.
Oh yeah, there was a rumor that he screened the actual movie before people. I think it was like a cast and crew screening. There's this one troll. I like to think he's trolling, but it would be hilarious if this was true. That said that as soon as he screened the trailer, someone said you should have just restored the Snyderverse. But that's probably a troll. I'm not taking that as real. But as for this, it's like I haven't seen anything in terms of if people liked it or not. But I don't know. I'll keep you guys appraised of it.
All right. So, Jared, what does Spider-Man mean to you, sir?
Well, he was the first superhero movie I ever watched, so there is that. And well, really, the thing about Spider-Man is, even as opposed to like Batman, he is the most relatable superhero because stuff goes wrong for him. Like, he gets a cold, the old Parker luck. Whereas opposed with Batman, everything kind of goes well for him eventually.
And yes, David Hernandez, Spider-Man is so great. We love him. For me, I do love the everyman aspects of Peter, but I also love how he's kind of a floater. Like, he's a character who works perfectly well street level, but you put him like cosmic, because Batman is a street level character that's forced to be like working with gods, and that's kind of the appeal. But Spider-Man, because of his power set, he kind of works in both realms, and I like that for different reasons.
Yeah, a little bit, and it's not like he doesn't already work with gods as well.
Yeah, but because of his power set, because he's stronger than Captain America, and more, he's stronger and faster too.
Exactly.
But yeah, obviously the thing is, like, the quintessential Spider-Man story for me is Peter's fighting
Sin's past. Just kidding. Go ahead.
No. The quintessential Spider-Man story for me is he's fighting Green Goblin in Uptown. But over in Queens, Aunt May is dying from an illness. Peter has the cure, but he has to fight Green Goblin, or else he'll destroy the city. But if he takes too long, Aunt May will die. That to me is like the quintessential. I love like the great power, great responsibility. Which, by the way, one of the reasons I love the Spider-Man PS4 game is they nail the ending. The ending with Aunt May. You know, he has like that great power, great responsibility, and he chooses great responsibility. Like, yeah, Peter, it would kill him inside. He'd want to cure Aunt May so bad, but he would choose. And I love that because it just ends on such a perfect note.
Well, the other thing with that is, like, and you see like Spider-Man, even the Sam Raimi movies did this well, where like he wants to get to like Mary Jane's show, but he can't because he's being Spider-Man, so he's perpetually late, and people think he's lazy, but it's like, no, I'm actually stopping a criminal right about now.
I love in Spider-Man 2 where he's like trying to deliver the pizzas, so he just becomes Spider-Man. It's like, and some guy's like, Spider-Man just stole those guys' pizzas.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, remember where apparently Xena the Warrior Princess goes, dude swings webs? Sounds hot.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yes, that lady is Xena the Warrior Princess.
All right, so Tevye says, honestly, Spider-Man for me is, well, he's a hero, I relate. And when he married to wife Mary Jane, he had a great thread in that needle, buddy. Believe it or not, the first superhero movie I watched, Christopher Reeves, and this went to in the 60s and the 80s Spider-Man movie. There was a Spider-Man movie in the 80s.
Do you mean the Spider-Man, the Emissary from Hell?
That was 70s.
Okay.
Let's see. They used to show it this in the Morning Kiss channel. Yep. I agree. The endings. My first exposure to Spider-Man was the Spider-Man the Animated Series on Fox Kids back in the 90s. Spider-Man.
That was my. So it was the movies first, and then I would watch that show all the time on like Cartoon Network or like Boomerang or one of them. I used to watch that show. Like, I think the first episode I watched was when Spider-Man and Doc Ock switch bodies. So essentially Superior Spider-Man.
You know, it's going to be, if we ever do like a rewatch, some of those episodes are going to be really high because Jennifer Hale voices Black Cat in that.
As long as Jennifer Hale is in every episode, and no matter what happens in that episode, it will get a 10 out of 10.
Hey, Geek Bubba.
What's up?
Yeah. You knew that, didn't you?
Yeah, yes, I do. It just depends on how many episodes Black Cat shows up in. Shocker! It's a wasted opportunity that they didn't do that in Spider-Man 2. They even had Shocker in the game.
Yeah, I am kind of actually upset. But yeah, the 90s animated series, the two PS1 games, Spider-Man, Spider-Man Extra Electro, were really great. I even love that they had like the original Spider-Man actor for the animated series come back. Oh God, I would love. Oh God, I really wish they bring back that actor just for something because to me he is my Kevin Conroy for Spider-Man. That
Yes.
actor, I can't.
He's good. Yeah.
What Spider-Man movie in Hong Kong? Oh yeah, Joan Lee voiced Madam Web, Stan Lee's wife, in that series.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, and then
So you're talking about the one from the 90s, right?
Yes, they kind of
Christopher Daniel Barnes is the one who voiced Spider-Man.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, those old PS1 games were crazy. Yeah, especially like in Enter Electro for the training sequence, you're in the danger room.
Oh, there you go.
All right, and so we got Cajun Fire saying, being early 90s babies in the animated shows. Spider-Man, yeah.
Holy Trinity right there.
Yeah. I guess they did bring him back for Shattered Dimensions.
Yeah, he voiced him. He has voiced him a few times in other games.
It's a shame they didn't bring him back for Spider-Verse. That that makes me sad.
I know. They could have just had someone walk by and he just goes, "Shocker!"
And as much as I also dread it, I do hope they make a Spider-Man 98. You know,
so we can so we can see what was already shown in X-Men 97, aka him finding MJ.
Yeah, that's the one thing I'm actually kind of mad at Bo DeMeo is for putting it in there, but I kind of get his reasoning. Like he didn't know if he'd get another season, so he's like, all right, I'm just gonna solve this plot line for people just in case nothing happens.
Yeah, he didn't know he didn't know it was possible that they were going at the time that they were gonna possibly make essentially a Spider-Man 94. So he's like, you know what, I'll just resolve this plot because all these shows are in the same continuity, so I could do that. But luckily, we'll probably end up seeing that. So it's not like it would really piss me off though if they do continue the Spider-Man anime show, but it takes place after that scene. Like we don't get to see him find MJ.
Well, I'm Cajun. I just want to say I'm sorry you got bullied, but you are welcome here. We welcome all flavors of geek here, and you are awesome.
Yeah, we're in a show called Comix Watch. I'm pretty sure this is a safe space.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain that Comics League is in the name.
Yes. And the tagline of the Phoenix Press is "We are reborn," so it's all good here. And like I remember, like the Spider-Man games of the 2000s were great. This is just like a random we love Spider-Man. We're talking about all things we love about Spider-Man.
Web of Shadows, bro. Web of freaking Shadows still stands as my favorite Spider-Man game.
You need to do a playthrough of that game sometime.
If I could find it, yes, I can. If it gets put, so it's gonna go on Game Pass, I think, at some point. So guess what? I will be streaming that.
You better, as much as you talk about it.
Yes, exactly. And let's see what else. I played Spider-Man 3. So the movie tie-in games weren't my favorites. Because here's why. Here's why I like Web of Shadows more. The entire Marvel universe shows up.
I mean, symbiote Wolverine.
Yeah, and Wolverine will quiz you on Spider-Man lore. Like, what meal did Aunt May make us when we went to go see her? And I'm like, I don't know this answer.
I want to play Ultimate Spider-Man so bad because it has like that cel-shaded style.
If you emulate it, there you go.
Yeah, let's see here.
Yeah, he's the fill-in writer for Zeb Wells right now.
Oh, okay.
That's the why did you say that name moment.
Yeah. All of a sudden, Paul just falls down a manhole.
You know what's hilarious, Nick? Have you noticed that like a lot of Marvel's worst storylines involve Spider-Man?
Well,
Like
when
Sins
you're
Past?
Marky
And One More Day.
Thin ice, sir. Thin ice.
I had to.
Then Geek Here Bub was like, "What's my worry with every reboot that potential mess up the whole continuity? X-Men, F4, Iron Man, Spider-Man Unlimited." Yeah. See, one thing that we probably should mention is it's a little bit after my time, and maybe Jared's too. The Yossverse.
I enjoyed that. And by the way, Tevia, that's why I said fill-in artist. I said fill-in writer.
Yeah, because Spider-Man is a mascot hero, so of course, in aggregate, you'd have as many good stories as bad.
Yeah, and a lot of it is like editorially driven, and I'm like, well, that's dumb. Or it's Spider-Man holds the record, I believe, for it takes 5 omnibus to contain the entire Clone Saga, over 100 issues. I'm pretty sure it's 5. Wait, I'll look it up right now. Let me see here.
Oh my god.
Omnibus for Clone Saga.
Wow.
Let me see here. Yeah, because it's one of those things where I remember when I looked at it, I'm like, that is egregious.
So this is like the entire volume of Clone Saga.
Yeah,
like, literally, my brain
the Clone Saga stuff.
Yeah.
So there's 2. Because I'm pretty sure there is. I'm pretty sure there's more than 2.
And another thing I'll say is, I really did enjoy Ultimate Spider-Man, both versions, but the Spider-Man, the 2000s, was really good, and it's probably one of the few Bendis works that I'll actually defend.
Oh, there's plenty of good Marvel stuff for He Who Must Not Be Named. It's when he comes to DC that he completely screws everything up.
I know they did a TV show in the 70s, and I think I remember hearing that it collected into a movie at some point.
I mean, I know that Spider-Man also showed up in that really old edutainment show called The Electric Company. I know that because my mom showed it to me. Okay, so apparently there's 2 omnibuy for it.
I got you for 2 omnibuy. 2 omnibuy playtime.
The Clone Saga I'm trying to see how many issues is the Clone Saga, because I want to see how much BS Marvel did. Oh, good lord. There is a lot, but I'm trying to. There's no place that gives me an actual number. Methinks that's Marvel trying to hide it.
Yeah, or maybe it's like, I don't want to review Clone Saga. Please don't make
Even
me review
Google
Clone
doesn't
Saga.
want me to do that.
So guess what we're reviewing next week on Comic? I'm just kidding.
Well, actually, Nick, you know what's kind of funny? Ultimate Spider-Man did Clone Saga, and it's actually good.
That's what I hear. That they actually kind of cleaned it up a lot. See, the problem with Clone Saga was it was meant to be one thing, but like Flashpoint, it kind of spiraled out of control.
Yeah, because if you were just to tell it like a regular Spider-Man story, like a simple story, okay, fine. But it just went on for long and long. And then they said, no, Peter's the clone, but Ben's the real Peter. No, but and then they were like, oh, you hate that? April Fools.
Yeah. I don't know. So maybe they like subtract issues or whatever. Like
I don't know. The point is I couldn't get a solid answer.
So Ben Reilly's back as Chasm?
No, they didn't bring back Clone Saga, Tevia. How would they bring back Clone Saga? I don't know what he means by that.
I mean, I think they did probably bring back Ben Reilly.
They brought back Ben, but I don't know how that brings back Clone Saga.
Oh, so
that's almost like saying that they have to bring in Morbius for Morbin time.
Remember when they brought back Ben Reilly in through the Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
I think you had something you particularly enjoyed about it.
Well, that he's very 90s inspired. He's like, I'm just gonna stand here and brood. Which, by the way, in Marvel versus DC, the Spider-Man that fought Superboy, I believe that was Ben Reilly.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I'm fairly certain that was Ben Reilly. So the one that became Spider-Boy is Ben Reilly.
Huh, interesting. It's just really interesting that like there's like a billion Spider people in the Marvel universe now. Like they even brought Spider-Man 2099 into main continuity.
Yeah, it's just like, stop. It's really getting annoying because here's the thing. What Marvel doesn't realize is like when they have all these variations like Gwenpool and Spider-Gwen and Miles, you start to dilute your good brand by having so many different versions.
I guess they're thinking like, oh, we're gonna have our own Bat family, and like, yes, all of the Bat people are very, very similar, but they also are very different. Like Huntress is very like they all fight differently. They all have different like skill sets. You know, like Huntress, she has a staff, she has her crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
She may not be as agile. Nightwing uses his Charisma 6, and he's very agile with his fighting. Like Robin uses his staff, but also a lot of Bat gadgets. Like the thing I like about the Bat family as opposed to the Spider family is they are all slightly different. Whereas the Spider people, while different designs, are all largely the same power set.
Yeah, some of them have like bonus powers, like Miles, who can like shock people and like turn invisible. But yeah, but they all have the same basic loadout, if you will.
Like, I will say, I did like Spider-Man 2099 when he was in his like future thing. Like, it's basically like a Batman Beyond, but Spider-Man,
It's
and I
pretty much
kind of
that.
dig it. I dig
Even
it.
Bat in the Sun did an episode where it was Batman Beyond or Death Battle did a battle where it was Batman Beyond versus Spider-Man 2099.
The Superman family should just be Superman, Supergirl, and Superboy. I mean, if you want to do
By
John,
Superboy, we mean Connor. Because here's why. Here's why, Nick. Here's my problem. And there was an image. When you look at the cover for Dawn of DC Superman, I'm going to pull this up because it perfectly encapsulates my point.
and while you're doing that, I will say at least with Green Lantern, they're a core. They're like a group. So
by the way, the Human Lanterns, they actually explain that. Where on Earth, there was a backup lantern. There was a backup central power battery. So in case the one on Oa gets destroyed, they have it. That's how they explain why there's so many Earth Green Lanterns.
Yeah, actually, I don't have a problem with Crypto. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah. So I'm pulling up the Superman image here. Okay. So here's my problem. This perfectly encapsulates this. Allow to share window. This window. Okay. So here's my problem. So if you look here, who's gonna commit crimes when there's 5 gods in the city?
In the city.
Yeah. It's the same problem I have with the Flash family. Because here's why it doesn't work with DC. No, actually, here's why it works with Batman. Because for, I would say 99% of the Bat family, actually really 100% of the Bat family, you could shoot them. There's a chance the criminal could actually get like a shot off. Superman or the Flash, significantly less likely.
Like even the characters that are on the periphery, like Black Canary is kind of on the periphery of the Bat family.
Yeah.
She's with, you know, like she has a Sonic Scream, but even she could be shot and killed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. She's a human. Even though she has like powers, she's still, in terms of durability, she's a human. Flash can go at super speeds and can break through time, and no bullet, except a kryptonite bullet or a magic bullet, can hurt and or kill a Kryptonian. So I'm like, what criminal is gonna try and like rob a bank in Metropolis?
So what happens is they have a magician and they take out the mag from their AK and like, hey, could you enchant this real quick? And now, and they put it back in. Now they got a round of magic bullets.
Yeah, and that's why I think that this is completely dumb. Why you don't need 5 Kryptonians. So really what it was is that they didn't know what to do with like Connor and Keenan Kong, the Chinese Superman. So they were like, okay, you know what? Let's just throw them all in a book. And I'm like, yeah, but logically that doesn't make sense.
Like I know one of the things I liked about the Supergirl TV show is they gave her own city. And I think they've done that a couple times.
They've done that in the comics. Even the see, now Wonder Woman, it's a little different because 99% of the time Wonder Woman is fighting gods. So I'm like, yeah, that's a little more believable. But most of the time, Superman is fighting beings that he could take out on his own. Or like 3 of them is fine, i.e. Kara and Connor. You don't need John. Sorry, Tevya. You don't need Keenan. You don't need the Warworld twins. You don't need Steel. You don't need Natasha Irons. You just need 3 Kryptonians. You're done.
All right. So, I'm sorry. This is supposed to be a Spider-Man thing, but
no,
when
it's still with Spider-Man because here's the problem with Spider-Man, and actually, Comic Historian did a great discussion on this. With the problem with Miles is that, so the thing is like, the problem with all these unique Spider people is that they don't have unique rogues galleries. That's the purpose. Oh, and yes, and there's a lot of other guys in Metropolis, but the point is going back to Spider-Man. There's a lot. So first off, the problem with Marvel, I get that they want it all to take place in New York, but New York looks a lot more empty for the amount of superheroes that are based in New York.
Yeah.
Because everyone's in New York.
I mean, at the top of my head, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Daredevil,
the Avengers, Thor. But so going to Spider-Man, the other problem is that there's no like need to create a situation that's unique for Miles because Peter's like right there.
Yeah. So Geek kind of brought up a good point I want to bring up. He says, so one of my pet peeves about Spider-Man is that when he's allowed to grow up, he's a beast. In Secret War, Spider-Man was faster than Nightcrawler, and he can teleport. Yeah, that's the thing. Like they allowed him to age up until like the early 2000s, and then they kind of Peter Panned him to perpetually put him in like this like early college era of Peter.
It's just one more day, Nick. Yeah, but that's a good point. It's like, and Nick and I have said this many times. This is how you use Miles effectively. Let Miles be the youthful kid Spider-Man and let Peter grow up.
I have said this and I've caught some flack for it. Miles needs to be the Robin to Peter's Batman.
Well, and actually, Nick, guess what? You know why in the Clone Saga they were going to have Peter be the clone? Because guess what? So that way they could have Peter go retire, be with MJ and grow up. And then Ben will be the main Spider-Man and do Spider-Man stuff. So it's not like they haven't tried that in the past. Only this time, it would probably work.
Yeah, I don't know what area you're talking about, but yeah, Deadpool has used a teleporter belt many times.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He did use that. He didn't use it in the movies, though, which is sad. I'm like, that's a wasted opportunity.
I mean, they did have him teleport.
Mm-hmm. Well, kind of,
yeah. Okay. You have a guy called the Merc with a mouth. That is literally his name. And in the movie, you sew his mouth shut.
Oh, it's kind of like what they did with Taskmaster in Black Widow, because Taskmaster is also known, Nick, for making quips. So, and they literally Deadpool Wolverined him, ignoring the gender bend, because if they had just gender bent him and then had her still making quips, I would have been fine. I'd be like, okay, you're still getting the character.
And the thing is, they could have saved the reveal by like, okay, when he's in the helmet, he has a voice changer that makes her sound like a dude because reasons, you know, like, and then when it takes off the mask, it's a woman. Like, okay, that's perfectly logical. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, also, like, I feel like with Taskmaster in that movie, it would have been a bigger twist if she wasn't mind controlled. She was there because she wants to be, and that she wants revenge.
Revenge, yeah, exactly. But no, that will require these writers to actually have what's called creativity.
Like, love for her father and all that stuff. And it's not any of that thing. It's like, I hate you, Natasha. And even though she survives, she still wants to kill him, whatever. Yeah, Taskmaster is literally Marvel Deathstroke.
Yeah, that's what he is. Yeah, because his power is that if he watches you fight, he can imitate your fighting style. He could go up against... he is one of the Marvel characters that I think could even give Batman a run for his money.
I think there was like a thing where like he was fighting Captain America, and then Captain America kept switching up his fighting style in order to throw him off guard.
Yep, because that's the way you beat him. Because otherwise, he's just going to keep copying your fighting skills and countering. That's it.
Which, by the way, Batman is definitely smart enough. Probably would pick it up faster too.
Yeah.
Or imagine somebody just told Batman, "Hey, Batman, this guy copies your fighting style." Just saying that alone, he's like, "Okay." Then he goes in and every other move is a different fighting style. I can so see Batman. I don't think so. Taskmaster is too big of a villain to let go. Also, I'm just gonna say this: I'm kind of excited for Thunderbolts.
Yeah, honestly, of the projects that are coming out, see, Captain America, I'm slightly interested in because I like the concept. It looks like they're trying to go a little bit more in terms of tone, toward that Winter Soldier-y, more mature take on Marvel, which I enjoy. Granted, it probably won't be Winter Soldier-y quality, but it's still like going into more of that tone space, and I like when superhero movies take themselves seriously. But when I see like Thunderbolts, because you know what's kind of funny? Most of those characters in the Thunderbolts I've hated in the movies, except for like Yelena and Bucky Barnes, and I'm like,
I am a U.S. agent defender though.
Okay, yeah, you know what? I liked him too. He had a solid arc. So you know what? And plus, if the Sentry's supposed to show up, it's confirmed he's being the Sentry. Not Henry Cavill, though, unfortunately. Well, actually, no, it's fortunate because that clears him up to play Hyperion. There's my one Squad Supreme reference.
Yes, you're one.
Man, Nick, if we ever cover Squadron Supreme for Comix Watch, you're going to be like blowing a gasket. There's going to be like blood coming out of your nose because I keep saying it all the time. Where I'm like, this is a great Zack Snyder movie.
Yes, and you're going to take advantage of the fact they're coming Squad Supreme. They like every other word is going to be a Snyder reference.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm going to be like, okay, so it's pretty much like, so it'd be like, okay, so Henry Cavill does this, Superman does this, Wonder Woman does this.
Oh my God. Thank God we're never covering that book.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see.
So Jared, I want to run something past you. So our 50th episode is coming up, and here's what I was thinking we could review, and maybe bring in a special guest for this. I was thinking we could review Avengers 200.
Oh God, and I know the special guest.
I haven't asked her yet.
If you wanted to, I wouldn't be like against that, and I could get the comic on the screen.
I have to ask her, but I think she might do it. I think that would be a good 50th episode.
By the way, Tevia, they did bring the Sentry back in the comics. And so, Nick, they've killed the Sentry a couple of times in the comics, but they literally did a series where they did the whole Reign of the Supermen where 4 different Sentries show up. Except they were less cool than the 4 Supermen. Because when Marvel ever tries to copy from DC, it always comes out a pale imitation because it's Marvel.
What about Gladiator? You know, the Superman clone in the X-Men.
That's less of a Superman clone. You see, I disagree that he's a Superman clone. I think it's just tough guy with a cape that flies. That's Superman. Nah. Like Hyperion literally is Superman. Sentry kind of is. Gladiators, no. I'm like, no, he's not Superman. He's super. Actually, you know what? He's more like Homelander, honestly.
So, okay, Brown Destroyer. I like this.
So it's The Witcher, Henry Cavill. Wait a second. This is in the Witcher cinematic universe, and actually, the Sentry is Geralt.
Okay. I'm just.
We
gonna
gotta
say
make a Henry Cavill cinematic universe video, dude.
I'm saying it right now. Next week's episode is Henry Cavill Cinematic Universe.
Okay, I'm down for that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just too perfect. We're doing a Henry Cavill Cinematic Universe. So, you know how Marvel likes to reference Superman?
Mm-hmm.
How much do you want to bet they're going to name drop Superman in Thunderbolts?
They already did.
Really?
Eternals.
No, in Thunderbolts.
That would be hilarious. Someone goes, you know, you look like, shouldn't you have a blue cape with, a blue suit with a red cape or a black suit?
I would not be surprised. Like, is that a bird? It's a plane? No, it's Sentry.
Yeah, the thing that's cool about the Sentry that makes him a little different than Superman is that he has a dual personality. Where whenever, so you know the whole scientific concept where like for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction.
Okay.
So with the Sentry, he's actually possessed by this being called the Void, and whenever the Sentry does great good, the Void will do great evil to match that great good. Case in point, remember that Bible story where essentially all the firstborn kids of Egypt were all killed so Moses can get the Jews out? Yeah, that was the Void. Yeah, so it's actually really cool because the Sentry is always like, do I intervene? Because if I intervene, the Void's gonna pop out and do something horrible.
So what you mean is, should I save her? Should I go now?
And the answer is no. Never save Lois Lane.
If I go, there will be trouble. If I save them, it will be double. Sorry, I was trying to figure that out.
Never save Lois, Sentry. Never save Lois. Let her die.
I think in Thunderbolt's case, everything special about you came from a belt buckle.
Well, actually, with that, what's kind of interesting is he was actually manipulated by Norman Osborn, because there was a period where Norman was the Iron Patriot / director of Hammer, and he created his Dark Avengers, which was literally all the Avengers bad guys dressed as the characters, like Mac Gargan became Venom, and the suit changed into the black suit Spider-Man. Dakin was Wolverine, Moonstone was Ms. Marvel. But anyway, so they had the Sentry, and Norman Osborn was like, "Rob, I know what you're I know what you're dealing with, because I had an evil personality in me as well." And then this Sentry found out that he was basically being used as Norman's attack dog.
So Tevye asks, question, speaking of Spider-Man, that reminds me, are you guys excited for the new Spider-Man show? The art style looks good. I'm going to give it a chance. Yeah, I need to know more.
I need to know more before I can get like really hyped on it, but it looks pretty good.
Yeah. Dark Reign Initiative.
That's what it's called.
I actually remember reading like a Spider-Man trade where he actually snuck in to the Dark Avengers, and he had like a symbiote-like suit that was made. Oh, we got a rare appearance by Taladia.
Yeah, but the issue is literally called Superman versus Lois Lane, so I'm fine with that. If it's versus, I'm cool with that.
Oh my God, House of Ideas, you are not. Okay, I have to say this. It's the Centress. Okay, what's the Superboy? Is it Centaboy?
Centaboy.
And what do you call a group of sentries? A centipede?
Sentai or whatever.
A Super Sentai?
And because it's Marvel, they can all say it's Morbin time.
You found a way.
I had to ruin it. Yes, I did. I love what you had a good pun, and I was like, I'm gonna take it away.
I really hate. I'm not looking forward to when you play Marvel Midnight Suns, because you're just gonna be saying it's Morbin time over and over again.
Oh, I can't wait. Eventually, we're gonna cover Morbius.
With the Century sidekick. See, here's the thing. Marvel proposed them to be the House of Ideas, and while DC has definitely copied from Marvel, that is a fact. Marvel tends to copy more from DC than the other way around.
Well, fun fact, and like one of the earliest episodes of Under Two Capes, Lad and I actually tallied up how many characters were copied from DC and Marvel and vice versa. Marvel copied the most. House of Ideas, huh?
Like, when it comes to Aquaman and Namor, Namor did come first.
Namor came first. That's objectively true. But, like, Swamp Thing and Man Thing, I do think it's kind of funny. You know they were making jokes when Man Thing's first appearance is in a comic called Giant Size Man Thing.
Somebody knew exactly what they were doing.
You know, as soon as they got the name for the comic, Stan and Jack were like in the corner going,
You do realize they had to have passed through at least 12 different eyes, 12 different people.
Yeah.
Looked at that title and be
yes,
like,
print that. By the way, do you know why the Squadron Supreme were created?
why?
They wanted to do crossovers with DC without doing crossovers with DC. That's why you have like there's a character named like named Arcana, Zatanna. There's like Blue Hawk, which is Hawkman. It's when we cover the book, I'll show you because it is egregious, my good friend.
I do feel like covering Squadron Supreme at some point.
Actually, and by the way, technically this was Watchmen before Watchmen, so technically Alan Moore ripped off Squadron Supreme.
Within the DC universe.
Okay, he could say that, but he gets the credit for doing that for all of comics, and I'm like, nope, Mark Grunwald did it first. And fun fact, you can get, so for the first edition trades of Squadron Supreme that collected it, Mark Grunwald put his like ashes in, wanted his ashes put in the ink. Because he loved that series.
Oh,
and they
cool.
put Superman with Wonder Woman in that one, so I'm like, ha 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 ha.
So Jared, how? I swear, one of these days you need to get a Squadron Supreme trade signed by the entire Zack Snyder Justice League.
That would be hilarious. And I go, trust me, if Marvel ever gives you a call, this will make sense. Drawn by Alex Ross.
Oh. So, okay, Jared. If we were to cover a Squadron Supreme trade, which one would it be?
You need to do the Mark Grunwald one, because that is the one that's like the one that everyone references. They actually did they actually have their own Ultimate Universe Squadron Supreme, by the way. And it's weird. But
okay, explain it, please.
No, but so the main Squadron Supreme, stop me if these origins sound familiar. The normal Squadron Supreme. So Power Princess comes from a utopian island of only warrior women that want to bring peace to the world. Nighthawk is the president of the United States. So Batman is the president of the United States. The idea of it is that in the prequel to this series, they were, I'm going to use their DC names for ease of talking.
Yeah.
Darkseid mind controls the Justice League and makes them into his slaves. So at the end of it, they were like, how do we earn the people's trust back? So then they decide they're going to start the Utopian Initiative. So what they do, the superheroes take over. This is Injustice done well. And they do all the stuff like they take away guns. They invent a machine that turns people more docile. Like it actually turns the criminals into good guys. but like the Green Arrow character abuses it to make the Black Canary character fall in love with him. And then eventually,
Bruce Timm wrote that part.
As the series goes by, it escalates to the point where like Nighthawk, Batman, he brings in like Captain America and the Avengers to take down the squadron, and Nighthawk dies to fight the squadron. It's really good. I kind of truncated it, but it's really good.
Okay, I just have one question: is there a Squadron Supreme version of Nightwing?
I think there is. I have to look it up though, but I'm pretty sure there is. Well, actually, what's kind of funny is that when they did Heroes Reborn, which is essentially they turned the Marvel universe into the DC universe. Miles Morales became essentially Robin. wait, I gotta make sure.
Oh my god, that is so good.
Kamala Khan became Wonder Girl.
Okay.
They're called the Young Squadron. Oh, and
the Young Squadron?
Oh, Hyperion, Power Princess, and Nighthawk are called the Big Three. Gwen Stacy became Batgirl. Deadpool is the Harley Quinn.
Wait, Deadpool became Harley Quinn?
Yeah, essentially. But the death of Gwen Stacy is done in this with Nighthawk, but it's the death of Falcon. The Suicide Squad is the Thunderbolts, but they're run by Wilson Fisk, who wipes their memories at the end of every operation.
All right, so Brown Star asked me to Google Earth 8.
Oh yeah, I think Earth 8 in Multiversity. I have that book. Hang on.
I have the DC Comics database pulled up.
That is why. I think that's more like a Knights and Dragons Earth.
It says Multiversity right here.
No, but yeah, it is because I have the trade as well.
Wait, the Gentry.
Yeah.
Also, Nick's Uton. What's Nick's doing here?
Nick Uton is a monitor.
I know.
Who like controls the multiverse.
Who monitors the monitors?
I don't know. Earth 6, by the way, is the Stan Lee universe in DC, like when he reinvented all the characters. Earth X. Do you know what the German army version of Aquaman is called? Underwater Man.
Oh, that sounds so on point.
Wonder Woman is named Brunhild, and she's blonde hair, blue eyes. Nighthawk is named Leatherwing. I forgot.
On leather wings. On leather wings.
Yeah, I forgot what Flash was called. There's also a universe called Earth 16, which is called Earth Me, where it's like the kids of the Justice League are like celebrities, and they just hang out and get into trouble.
Iron Man is called Metalhead.
Yeah. Earth 21 is the what's the one? Is the New Frontier. Earth 22 is Kingdom Come. Earth 30 is the Red Sun. Earth 32, they literally just merge DC characters together.
Oh.
But yeah, Multiversity is really fun. We should try it out sometime. They actually have a Chibi Earth.
Oh, nice. So Jared, did you know in the Marvel Universe, there is Earth 79203,
which is?
Let me just
I know Earth 712 is the Squadron Earth, I think. Battlefield. Is that the Spider-Man?
This is Sentai. And this is the Toei universe. It's considered defunct, but
so technically Power Rangers are in the Marvel multiverse?
The Sentai, anyway. But yeah. The Toei universe.
I'm an emissary from hell.
But yeah, so Sentai is canon to the Marvel universe.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, we were talking about like different universes, and I wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, and let's see, what's another good yeah, and when you get to like, and obviously the Ultimate Universe is good there. Yes, you know what's kind of funny, Nick? For everyone keeps saying that the new 52 like failed, but they keep reprinting stuff from that period. And you know what's kind of funny? I brought this up to Britt last the other day when we were doing after we did Super Wonder. I told her, you know what's kind of interesting? Here's how I know DC does not consider Tom King a big seller. He's never ever gotten an omnibus of his work.
Yeah, and we were talking about this before the stream. Meanwhile, someone like Chuck Dixon, who is kind of essentially canceled, is actually still getting omnibuy. Like his
Chuck is James Tynion, Scott Snyder. Literally every Batman writer has an omnibus of their work at some point.
On a machine head, better the rest. Sorry.
I mean, hell, I have 3 whole trades of Chuck Dixon's work. It's called Nightfall.
We do love our Chuck Dixon. I mean, literally the first episode of Comix Watch, we had a cameo by Chuck Dixon. Like,
oh yeah, and he was on my channel. Appreciate that, Nick.
You're welcome, sir. Oh God, are the Batman Beyond comics any good?
Which ones? Because I read a Batman Beyond comic. That's the one where Batman impregnated Barbara Gordon. Remember? And then there's one. So remember the Justice Lords episode of Justice League Unlimited?
Yeah.
So here's how stupid the Batman Beyond comics got. So Wonder Woman was rejected by our Batman. So she went and married the evil. Actually, no, she got into a relationship with Justice Lord Batman. Then Justice Lord Batman was killed by Lord Superman. Then Wonder Woman was forced to get into a marriage with Lord Superman to avert a disaster. And this is not after killing Lord Wonder Woman. See how stupid these got? Yeah, it wasn't a lot of like, oh, it's just straight up it's just straight up like Batman Beyond. No, it was BS Beyond.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. See, here's the thing. If Wonder Woman was I get that like in the Justice League Beyond, they had Big Barda essentially be the Wonder Woman. Shouldn't have been Wonder Woman still there because she's immortal.
Yeah, she would still be there. She definitely would still. If Superman is there, I can guarantee you she's there. So where is she? So I understand from a story perspective, from a behind-the-scenes perspective, why they don't have Wonder Woman in there, because there was like an embargo and stuff. But when you think about it in retrospect and in the story, it doesn't make sense. She must have been killed.
Like, I understand, like, Big Barda is a good sub for Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to have, like, a sub to Wonder Woman, Big Barda works great. I actually really did like the Justice League Beyond. I thought they're, like, you know, I think, like, the Aqua Girl thing was definitely, like, supposed to be more of an homage to Dolphin, the character.
And by the way, they created, in the Future State Justice League books, they did Aqua Girl, except it's Arthur and Mara's daughter.
Is it the one from the cartoon?
I don't know if it's the same character from the cartoon, but it's that concept.
Interesting. So what do you think of? Have you read the Invincible Spider-Man crossover where Invincible goes to the Marvel Universe?
No, I haven't yet. I'm still on the first like collection of Invincible that is actually signed by Ryan Otley.
Oh, nice. Justice League. Yeah, they actually. I think they did a Justice League Beyond comic.
They did. They should do a show. You've said this before. That's how you continue the DCEU without Conroy.
That actually kind of works because you can bring back Will Freddy to voice Terry.
Yeah, and just say you can even have it take place after Batman's death. Just have a time skip. Batman is dead.
No, it's literally the first episode is Bruce's funeral.
Yeah, you could do that. And you know what? Because that show, while the DCAU is like, Conroy is like the heart and soul of that, that Batman is less the heart and soul. That show is less dependent on Bruce Wayne Batman.
You know, actually, I wouldn't mind a new Batman Beyond series, and they basically the story is Terry McGinnis must now have to navigate without Bruce. I think that's an interesting story. I think that's a cool idea.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Like basically where it's where Terry inherits the Wayne fortune or whatever. He moves into Wayne Manor, you know, all that stuff. I could totally like that. Actually, sounds like a cool story.
Mm-hmm.
So Geek Hero has the Batman Beyond comics. I've always wanted to get into them. I just don't know where to start.
Number one, it's actually pretty self-explanatory, Nick.
Well, no, they have the ones that tie into the cartoon, and I think they've relaunched it as its own series like twice or something.
Okay, I have no idea. I don't. I'm not really that into Batman Beyond. I like the show. It's just in terms of comics, I'm like, I'm fine. I'm good. I like the concept. I'm just nah.
So, Geek Hero. In the comics, didn't Max actually become Robin in the comics?
They actually did an alternate continuity where there was a falling out between Terry and Bruce, and Damian trained Terry.
Yeah, because I think in the Beyond, because if I believe in the Beyond continuity, Damian is the current Ra's al Ghul.
Mm-hmm.
Which honestly makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a Batman Beyond fan film. I saw clips of it.
I haven't yet. I want to. It looks good. They even have the actor who played Beast Boy and Titans on it, playing Terry.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Batman. Remember where we almost got a Batman Beyond animated series, but then James Gunn wanted to make a Creature Commando series?
Oh my god! And they had the animation studio behind Into the Spider-Verse doing it.
Yeah.
I think even Phil Lord and Chris Miller were actually doing it.
Yeah, they made the test trailer, and they were like, "Yeah, we could do it." Plus, I think that show would have done well. People would have shown up for that because A, it's their name, and B, Batman.
Okay. Question: if they were to do that animated movie, who would voice Terry and who would voice Bruce?
Roger Craig Smith for Bruce, and for Terry.
You know, if they actually got this movie going like 3 years ago, while Kevin was still alive, I would have said, "All right, Kevin Conroy, and then have someone else be Terry McGinnis, or bring back Will Friday."
Will Friday did voice him in Crisis,
which was so cool. But I'm sorry, cool. If you're doing Batman Beyond and it's animated, if you can bring back Kevin Conroy to voice Bruce, you kind of gotta.
Yeah, I know. And yeah, Devin brings a good point. Remember what happened to that Jurassic League animated movie that no one wants?
it went the way of everything.
James Gunn changed his mind.
I was gonna say get memory hold, but that works better.
Mm-hmm.
See, the thing I always say is, don't look at what they're saying. Look at what they're not saying. That to me says more than anything else.
Yeah. Jason O'Mara for Bruce, that works really well. He was the DC AMU voice for Batman as well as Young Justice.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Actually, no, he was Young Justice was someone else, but Jason O'Mara was the AMU Bruce Wayne.
So let's say they're gonna cast well-known actors for this because this is that kind of movie.
Ben Affleck.
Imagine if they did do that.
Who played Nightwing and Titans as Terry.
No. I got you one better. What if it's revealed that this Batman Beyond is actually in the Snyder continuity?
Wait, Nick. Justice League Beyond. Big Bart is being played by Gal Gadot. Obviously, Cavill's playing Superman. We'll find someone else to like cast all these characters. There you go. You're good to go. Yep, telling you.
Oh god, yeah. Red Hood movie. Jensen Ackles.
I don't think he would work for a really old Batman.
I think he could be Terry McGinnis.
He could be Terry 100%, but I'm just saying because you need someone that sounds a lot more gruff to be like old man Bruce Wayne.
I could see them casting him for Terry though. I think he's that level of an actor he could pull off.
You know who could play old man Bruce in a Batman Beyond animated movie? Michael Ironsides.
Anthony Hopkins.
No, Michael Ironsides, because you know it's Michael Ironsides did voice Dark Knight Returns Batman in an episode of Batman the Animated Series where they're talking about like where all these kids are giving their versions of who Batman is, and one of them literally does a scene from Dark Knight Returns where Batman goes, "This isn't a mud pit, it's an operating table, and I'm the surgeon."
Like a surgeon.
And it's literally Michael Ironsides being Batman.
Oh, so you know in Smallville, Michael Ironsides plays General Sam Lane.
Mm-hmm.
God, we really do need to review Smallville someday. Martin Cove as elderly Bruce, I could see it.
Interesting.
John Kreese, not John. I think he was trying to say like Cleese or whatever, but
John Kreese could play a good like old man Slade Wilson. He's pretty much Slade in the show.
You know,
Nick, you know what this is? You know what Cobra Kai actually is?
Oh my God! Here we go.
It is a non-powered version of the Judas Contract.
Oh God!
Tori is Ravager.
Oh my God!
She literally enters the team and betrays them. To Kreese.
I still need to watch Cobra Kai season 6.
I haven't watched it yet, but dude, it is literally the Judas Contract. I just realized that. It's not the Teen Titans. It's the Judas Contract.
Oh my God. Just wow.
He's even in the army and he retires.
It's fine. Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he could do that too. He could definitely do that too.
I mean, if they do a live action, it has to be Michael Keaton as Old Man Bruce.
They're gonna have to do that before Keaton gets too old.
I mean, it's Old Man Bruce. He's in a chair. He could be 90 and still.
By too old, I mean is no longer with us, because if they're gonna drag their heels, who knows? But yeah. By the way, if you remember, I love how people were like, we were gonna get a Batman Beyond movie, but Zaslav axed it. But I'm like, you realize, according to the plot description, it would have been in the modern day.
Also, did you know we almost got a Batman Beyond movie in the early 2000s?
Really? That would have been great. Josh Brolin as Dark Knight Returns Batman. Yes! Holy... that works so well! He even looks like an older Batman!
Oh, God, yes.
Okay. This is the Snyderverse, but he plays an older version of Ben Affleck's Batman. He's older Batfleck in Kingdom Come. You don't even have to have Ben Affleck come back, because Ben Affleck looks like a younger Josh Brolin.
Oh no! It's a Kingdom Come movie, and they announced that Josh Brolin is he going to play the Anti-Monitor? Is he going to play the Monitor? He returns as Jonah Hex.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. Or no, he just voices Darkseid.
Now this does put a smile on my face.
I know, have the Anti-Monitor. Can you imagine Josh Brolin says restore the Snyderverse?
Oh God.
There you go.
No, imagine it's like a DC Marvel crossover, and you get Deadpool in the mix, and he just shows up wearing a Restore the Snyderverse t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bruce Willis could have played old Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the thing, Braun Destroyer. Lots of people have tried to choose Christopher Bale. Like, fun fact, the original intention for BVS was to have Christian Bale come back. They even offered him $50 million to come back as Batman for Batman versus Superman. We were this close to having the Nolan trilogy be canon to the Snyderverse.
Yeah, but see, I can't see Bale acting opposite Cavill.
I can. Oh my god, I want it so bad. I want it so bad.
Because I think Bale would have worked better with Ruth.
Possibly, but I don't know. I can see it working because if you think about it, the continuities up until BVS matched perfectly because Superman didn't appear until after the Dark Knight trilogy was already concluded.
Yeah, but here's the problem. It's like when you get into Batman versus Superman, it's taking place during the invasion of Metropolis. So Bruce leaves Selina to show up in Metropolis. Because remember, at the end of the third movie, Batman is happily retired with someone else.
No, what it here's how. Oh god, this is a UTC episode.
And then he has Talani and I already did it.
Oh, probably did it better, but I'm gonna do my own stamp. Basically, Bruce and Selina are in Metropolis for reasons, and Selina gets killed in the attack.
Nah, it's too stereotypical.
Okay. Yeah, that's the other thing. Bill, I mean, he turned down $50 million. I don't think he's coming back anytime
Yeah, because he
soon.
said he would only come back as Batman if Christopher Nolan was directing. And all the times they've asked him to do it, Nolan has not been directing. Even if it was Zach.
I mean, Nolan's pretty much done with Warner Brothers for the time being, so...
No, he's in active talks to come back. He's not done.
What if they do announce a Batman the Brave and the Bold, but directed by Christopher Nolan?
That would give me some interest in James Gunn's universe. But here's the thing. Nolan wouldn't do it because he doesn't want to be beholden to someone else's continuity, which, you know what? More power to you, brother.
I think the only time he would have come back is for Snyder, just because they're friends.
Yep, he would have, because he knows that Zach. Because can you imagine a Ben Affleck written/produced his movie, but it's directed by Nolan,
or at least produced by Nolan?
Yeah, Man of Steel was produced by Nolan.
Yeah. Okay. What's a non-Batman DC property in the Snyderverse that you think Christopher Nolan would be a good fit to direct?
Honestly, okay, The Flash. Here's why. And when Talani and I covered this, I said that because when you look at Interstellar, it's all this like really crazy visuals. And tell me that a Flash movie wouldn't work in that way.
I'm not sure Christopher Nolan's style would work for the Flash, but visually, yes.
In the Speed Force. Now, if you're talking about a non-Batman character, okay, I'm going to do non-Superman as well, because we saw Christopher Nolan's Superman. And by the way, Tavia, he said DC characters, not like general comic book characters.
I mean, Christopher Nolan's Spawn sounds really good.
Honestly, Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of gritty war movies, and honestly, I think he could have made a pretty... You know who I would love to make a Wonder Woman movie? The guy behind The Northman.
Robert Eggers.
Either Wonder Woman or Thor.
Oh, he would do a
Can you imagine an MCU, the next MCU Thor movie is by Robert Eggers?
All right, I'm just going to say it. Robert Eggers, Batman.
Yes. You know what's kind of funny?
He's kind of doing a Batman movie already. He's doing... Christopher Nolan does a question.
That's a very good question. But you know what's kind of funny, Nick? When you look at the plot of The Northman, he becomes Batman. Pretty much. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, that works. No, I can't see him doing Teen Titans. He wouldn't do... I don't think Christopher Nolan would do teen movies.
I'm sorry, but people People like to put Tom Holland into everything, so I kind of have an embargo on Tom
You'd be
Holland.
kind of funny. It would be the only appropriate time. He would be like Iron Boy, and that would make sense.
He'd be Batboy.
He'd be Batboy. I'm surprised that's not a superhero identity at this point for the sidekick.
Fun fact, George Miller almost directed a DC movie in the late 2000s.
Justice League Mortal, and we will in 2025 do a live reading of the script for a live stream.
Oh, God.
I will be playing Superman. I call it. Taladia, I
Batman.
called it. Yeah, obviously.
Also, we
We'll
got
be
the
Wonder
bubble.
Woman.
Black Reaper Kai has
So you could say the Black Reaper returned.
Yeah, sounds about right. But yeah,
An idea I had for like live streams for Comix League is that next year we just do live readings of all of the canceled scripts, like Superman Lives, Superman Flyby, Batman vs Superman, all of them.
It's like one of the older BVS scripts. Like, wasn't there a BVS like way back when?
Yep, that's the one that was in I Am Legend, which is kind of funny. So you know that there's a funny story behind that. So Zach, so you know how he got 300?
How?
So he was originally supposed to direct I Am Legend, but the studio screwed up and gave it to someone else. So they asked Zach, okay, so we'll give you whatever you want as a consolation prize. What do you want to do? He just plopped the graphic novel around their desk. And it's even more ironic when you consider the fact that there's a BVS reference in I Am Legend. It's a big billboard with the Batman. Obviously, it was a different Batman and Superman, but wow, that is crazy how that turns out.
Also, a Zack Snyder directed I Am Legend sounds really good. That would have been a really good movie.
Yeah, I gotta say that does sound really good.
Also, do you have the script for Superman Lives?
I can get that, yes.
What about Batman Unchained?
Maybe I can get that. I'll check. I should be able to get that.
That's a Schumacher Batman movie.
Yeah, I should be able to get all of the unsealed scripts because you and I were looking at where to get them. We can even do the original Zack Snyder scripts before WB made him rewrite anything.
Oh, what about the original Batman script with Ben Affleck?
Yes, we can. And we are so going to do that. See again, that's the plan. We'll call it unsealing the archives. Yeah, what's up?
Do you have the Batgirl script?
Oh God, I wonder if they released that. They probably deleted even that, but if they did, yeah, we're doing it. I'm gonna make my own Morbius script, and all it is just it's Morbin time a bunch of times.
No.
Did you see someone actually gamed their like college class because the assignment was to write a paper from the perspective of a Marvel character. So they just did Groot and just typed in "I am Groot" a bunch of times. The professor said Marvel character. You didn't specify which. I'm like, promote head appears. Promote head appears.
So, Geek Hero Bubba volunteers as tribute.
We'll claim diversity. Yeah, exactly. Like you hear, they're making a live action How to Train Your Dragon, but they're race bending one of the Vikings, and everyone's like, "It's the Vikings."
It's Astrid. Also, I think they did the same thing with Percy Jackson. Annabeth got race bent.
Yeah, but here's why. Here's the difference. Yes, the character is canonically white, so we'll go with that. But ignoring that, there are like black demigods. It's not like because it's if you look it up, it's very unlikely that there were ever black Vikings.
Yeah,
just like Ubisoft is slowly imploding from making a certain game from the shadows.
Oh. Who would have thought having a black samurai kill lots of Japanese hip-hop music would go over?
Yeah, isn't that funny? Where who thought it was a good idea that whenever you go into battle as the character, hip-hop music starts playing? Are you stupid?
I honestly believe the only way they can salvage this is to literally just swap out Yasuke for another like Asian character.
Which, fun fact, there is like they did have an actual samurai character in the game beforehand, before they replaced it with Yasuke. And if they delay it even more than it already is, they could do that.
Supposedly the game has been insanely expensive. That's the other problem.
Yeah, that's the issue. But if they were to do that, because if they, let me put it this way, if they delay it one more time, because the current delay timeline is not enough to replace the entire character. If they do it again, then I say that they're gonna do it.
Yeah, and they've definitely reached sunk cost fallacy. Like, honestly, it might just be cheaper just to be like, all right, just release the game as is. Because like the money they might gain from replacing the character might not be enough to justify the cost. They're like, all right, release it as is.
What they could do is release it as a live service patch later. This is when live services actually help people.
Oh my god. Tevya, because money.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna do live action versions of everyone because actually it's more than that, Nick. It's money and a lack of creativity, because they're like, we're just gonna take crap that's already been done.
Because I actually like the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy.
I've never seen it. I heard it's good.
Oh, I'm so like. Thank you for joining us, Geek Here, Bubba. We really appreciate it. Y'all come back now here. And if you guys have not liked the stream, please do so. Like,
right, Nick.
Comments.
So do you know, you think about Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Valhalla, you know why there's an option to play as a female character? Because originally those games were going to have you just play as the female character, but an executive at Ubisoft vetoed it because he said female games don't sell.
See, this is a problem I have with like a lot of games. Or like, oh, you have a male-female option. And everyone's like, oh, but the default option is the female, guys. It's the like female V. The female Viking.
Well, here's the thing with the female Viking. Even if you play as the male one, they accidentally left in the dialogue that refers to the female Viking, to the male Viking as she.
See the Greece one, I can understand having the female, like that makes sense from like you got the Amazons, but Viking.
Well, she's not an Amazon, but I just called her that because I was making a Wonder Woman game. But even with that, it's like, yeah, that works, but like. And they were female Viking warriors, so that makes sense.
Shield maidens. Shield
maidens, yeah. But the problem is that I hate the attitude of female games just won't sell, so we just won't do it, or we'll just half-ass in a male antagonist. Because actually, both of the voice acting for the female characters is way better than the male ones.
Yeah, they kind of like they say the same thing about Cyberpunk. Or like they say that female V is better. I mean, I think both are fine.
Or female Shepherd, which I got news for. I played as female Shepherd. Yeah, I do agree with you. The female one is a little better.
The male Shepherd is good on his own.
He's just good, but compare that to Jennifer Hale.
Your bias is showing.
I know, but can you blame me? It's Jennifer Hale.
Yeah, the Hale effect is a thing.
Halo effect is definitely a thing, but yeah, it's like but I do think female games it's the same attitude that like female superhero movies don't sell well, and then Wonder Woman comes out.
Yeah, pretty much. So we're kind of reaching the hour and a half mark here, and I gotta get some Geener. So we're gonna wrap up here. Jared, who is your daddy and what does he do?
Okay, so I don't know what that is, but for what I'm doing on the channel is that on Wednesday, on Tuesday, I'm going to be reacting to Superman and Lois with Taladia. And in terms of my Wednesday video, I'm going to be talking about like Superman characters I think should show up in Absolute Superman. And in terms of Under Two Capes, I'm still figuring out what I want to do there. Same thing for movie night. We may cover a Marvel anime. I don't know. I'll let you guys know. But Britt and I are going to be discussing. We're going to redo Superman. We're going to review Superman and Lois as a show and then redo it, replacing Lois with Wonder Woman. In other words, improving the show.
Interesting.
How about you, Nick?
All right. So apparently Jared's never seen Kindergarten Cop, so that went over his helmet. Anyway,
have, but it's been years.
all right. So this week, tomorrow we'll be playing some Mega Man X. You guys decided that, so we'll do that. And then on Friday, we'll be talking for the Frenzy. We'll talk about mental health. Saturday, we'll continue some Dragon Quest 3. Also, the print order for Screecher 3 will be put out either tonight or tomorrow. The money's in my account. So, make sure to like this stream and tell us what you thought. And tell us, please, in the comments, why do you like Spider-Man and what does he matter to you? So, Jared, thank you for being here. It's always good to talk to you. And this has been Nick from the Phoenix Press. And remember, I can only show you the door. You have to walk through it.
That first sucks.